Hey guys, today we're going to talk about laser guns. Or maybe we'll talk about ray guns. May even talk about space guns. Whatever it is, we're going to have fun talking about it, so let's talk about it. Laser guns, ray guns, space guns, pistols, whatever you call them, they're fun. And today we're going to look at some from the 60s, the 70s, and the 80s. Most of these will be from the 60s and then a few more from the 70s and just a little bit from the 80s because the 60s seems to be the best time for ray guns. Again, ray guns, laser guns, space guns, whatever you want to call them. And let's be honest, the term ray gun has kind of been dated. In the 60s, they called it ray guns a lot, and 70s, and it kind of faded out. It's kind of like the term robot. Who says robot anymore? Now it's AI or artificial intelligence or a drone or something. But let's look at ray guns from the 60s and 70s and 80s.
Reach for the sky. Come on, this is Space Patroller Jack Norris, and I got you covered with a cosmic smoke gun. Okay, gang, drop your dukes. I'm only kidding. Don't reach for the sky. Reach for rice checks and wheat checks.
A crummy commercial? Son of a bitch.
Still out of breath from that bit I did at the beginning of the video. Gotta get into shape. Let's check this one right out. Check this one out here. Look at this little plastic gun. Look at this anti-gravity. I guess you shoot somebody and they start floating around. That'd be really good. It's got, well, let's see what else it's got on it. Radiation. That was really big in the 60s, giving people radiation. It's probably got some other things that I can't really see right now. So let's move on and look at another ray gun. They just look really cool. I can see somebody just collecting toy ray guns or laser guns. That would be really, really cool. Check out this one here, Space Electronics. Now this says this is from the 60s. It looks more 70s to me, but I guess I'm going to take their word for it. It looks like it's from the 60s. All one color, nothing really grabs me with this one right here. But it looks like it might light up, and that's always a little extra cool plus. How about this? This is straight out 60s, early 60s. Yeah, this might be 50s. This is what you think of when you think antique space guns. And I bet this is one that you pull the trigger and it's got little sparks. Hold on a second. Sorry about that. And you pull the trigger and it sparks and the front lights up. I like that sound it makes. But yeah, a lot of these back in the 60s love to shoot out sparks. But sparks were very cool. How about this one right here? It looks kind of like a water gun. I don't think it is. I bet this one does sparks also. That way the plastic would light up. Make it look really cool in Futurama. There we go. Oh, here's this one's got a little boy on it. Space ray gun. They didn't know to call it a space gun or a ray gun, so they just called it both. A space ray gun. Or maybe that boy's named Ray. Who knows? It could be. And look at this. Looks like some kind of generic one right here. Pistol Lola, I don't know what it says. 2050. That's not even seen that far in the future now, does it? Be 2050 before you know it. And look at this weird looking thing. This has that 60s look, trying to look future, like it's from the future. I see two triggers on it. You know it's from the future. It's got two triggers. They said, I don't know what people's going to be doing in the year 2000, but I'm sure it's going to have two triggers on it. It didn't. They didn't have any triggers on it. Oh. That's not a toy ray gun. Let's move on before the kids find out. How about another one right here? Another green one. This one looks like, again, it looks like it does the sparks. Yeah, Hal Sparks would probably like to play with this one. Really cool looking gun. Like I said, I could really see somebody that just collects ray guns. That would be pretty awesome. How about this one right here? Really colorful, really bright. This is probably for your cousin. You know, the one that wants attention when he's playing with his guns. You want one that's more realistic, but this guy wants a little bit more bright. He's like, look at me, I got a bright gun. And you're like, okay, good for you. We'll be able to see you first when you're hiding and we're playing shooting tag. Oh, here's a jet ray gun. Never heard the term jet ray gun. Looks like something I would fix my toilet with. Okay, I paused there so you can laugh. Oh, but this one here, this is a cool look. It's like a Ray Tommy gun. Look at this. This is pretty awesome. Here, really, in the 60s, they really took their time with toys, didn't they? especially metal toys. They were really big into metal toys. I don't know why. I guess plastic wasn't invented. That's right, it wasn't invented until 1974 by Thad Plastic. There are some facts for you on this channel. How about this one right here? This has got to be 70s. This one here lights up flashing rainbow. Hey, look at me. I'm part of the Rainbow Coalition. This looks like one that's a lot of fun. Whoa, now this is a weird looking space gun for real. This thing would probably get you shot if you pointed it at a... Okay, this ain't a space gun. It's not a ray gun. This is some kind of air paint gun that you used to airbrush stuff with back in the 70s. But I gotta admit, it looks kind of like a cool gun. If I was making a science fiction movie and I didn't have a budget, let's be honest, if I ever made a science fiction movie, I wouldn't have a budget. I would find this at an antique store and it would be my space gun. It looks kind of cool. How about this one right here? Oh, this one's got a strap. Don't you love it when your gun has a strap on it? I know I do. It makes it hacking through the woods or down the street a little bit more practical. And we got this one right here. Just a generic looking gun. It's got the red tip on it. Oh, so you know we're getting into this probably late 70s here. Got to be safe. I know toy companies, especially in the 80s and the 90s, was like, we got to put a red tip on the end. We got to make it bright. Why? Because we care about kids. Oh, no, because we don't want to get sued. And how about this one right here? Another really bright gun. Really showing everyone out there who you are with this bright gun right here. It looks like it has a chicken inside of it, but I could be wrong. Oh my God. All I did is act like I was playing with a gun for 2 seconds. Why am I so... Oh, anyway, look at this weird looking thing. Looks like a type of gun you might see on Blake 7. There you go. There's a Blake 7 reference. I knew I could find one. It uses it says Star Gun Rifle. They're trying to copy some Star Trek stuff. It looks like a Star Trek font, doesn't it? How about this was a big one? I sold this in the 80s. This was like every toy store, especially cheap toy store, had this gun. It light up at the top. It made that generic laser sound that they all made back then. I'm sure you had this, or you at least seen it at the store and played with it. That's what was good about these. They usually went in a box, or they had a box that had Try Me, so you could play with it right at the store. And look at this weird looking thing. I don't know if this is technically a ray gun or a laser gun. I just thought it was kind of badass and I wanted to show it. Man, I didn't have this as a kid, and it has to be 80s. I mean, look at that Transformer font they're trying to steal, but look at that. Look how many it shoots those little air pellets out. Look how many holes, and it's a handgun. That's freaking awesome. And look at this little, again, you can tell we're in the 80s now. Look at this. This is some kind of high-tech gun. Not really sure what it does. I think it might have the word Hulk written on it. So I don't know. Maybe it's from Spencer from Hire. Let's check this one out right here. Even girls like to play with laser ray guns. And here's a little pink one. Girls love little pink toys. And here they are with a little pink ray gun.
And tell Mom this. The powder is guaranteed harmless.
Now you're saying, Junkman, why are we talking about ray gun toys? We want to talk about action figures. Well, again, I think they're just really cool, and it seems like, at least in the 60s ones, that one really sets with that time period of the 60s. I mean, it was a space race. So everybody all the little kids anyway, were into space toys. Then you have the 70s, and then you have the 80s, where they got a little bit more electronic in the 80s. It's just really fun to have. I don't really collect any ray guns or laser guns, unless you count the Han Solo pistol. I play with this thing a lot. This was, I stick it down in my pants, walk around with it. I thought I was Han Solo for about 2 years. I love this thing. It sounded like you went to the dentist when you, that's what it would sound like. It was awesome. But I don't know about you. I don't know if you like ray guns, laser guns. I don't know what to call it. But hopefully you did. If not, maybe you saw some here was like, that's pretty cool, Junkman. Thanks for showing me that. Well, thank you for watching.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.